Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda. Today a few devotees are offering the Pratyaksha Pada Puja at the Divine Lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, our beloved Swamiji. Before we begin the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, please declare the following statements with integrity and authenticity. The four statements that we are now going to declare help us establish the correct context, a powerful context, before we begin the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. The first one is to cognize that cosmic energy exists, Paramashiva exists. Then we cognize that Paramashiva himself has manifested in our lives as our beloved Swamiji, the Guru in our lives. The next is the cognition that whatever we offer to Swamiji will reach the cosmic source of energy directly. Then, after that, we celebrate our oneness with Swamiji, with the manifestation of Paramashiva in our lives, by the declaration of Soham Asmi, that even when we worship, we are Him. In this way, we begin with the powerful theistic declarations of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Following this, the various parts of the puja help us
speak locally. Mic ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡು.
whatever we offer will be received by the cosmic source of energy directly. We will now begin the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Please be seated with your head, neck and spine in a straight line, and please be in a deep space of gratitude and restful awareness in your Ananda Gandha. Please declare the following statements with integrity and authenticity. If you agree, please say yes loudly. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand and declare the truth. Cosmic energy exists.
Yes.
I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand and declare the truth, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the Chinmaya Vigraha, the embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy.
Yes.
I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand and declare the truth, that whatever I offer in the Pratyaksha Pada Puja at the Divine Lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, will reach the cosmic source of energy directly.
Yes.
I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand and declare the truth of Soham Asmi, that even when I worship, I am Him.
Yes.
We will now begin the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Please take some flowers in your hands and offer the flowers at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantras.
Nityanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Nityananda Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Lalate Tripundri Nitilakrita Kasturi Tilakaha Spuranmala Adhara Spurita Katikaupi Navasanaha Dadhano Dustaram Shirasi Vanirajam Shashikalam Pradeepa Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate.
Now we'll do Tattvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing of the hands and the mouth.
ॐ आत्मतत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा ॐ विद्यातत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा ॐ शिवतत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा
Next we'll perform Shuklam Bharadaram. Please take some flowers and akshita and keep your hands in the Mushti Mudra. Tap the sides of your forehead 5 times as we chant the following mantra.
ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये.
Please perform the pranayama. Inhale through the left nostril, hold your breath, holding both nostrils closed, and exhale through the right nostril. We'll be chanting the Samhita mantras as you perform the pranayama.
ओम हम ईशानमूर्धाय नमो ह्रीं तत्पुरुषवक्त्राय नमो हम अघोरहृदयाय नमो ह्रीं वामदेवगुह्याय नमो हम सत्यजातमूर्तये नमो हृदयाय नमो ह्रीं शिरसे नमो हम शिखाय नमो ह्रीं कवचाय नमो हम नेत्रेभ्यो नमः ओम हस्त्राय नमः. ओम हम ईशानमूर्धाय नमो ह्रीं तत्पुरुषवक्त्राय नमो हम अघोरहृदयाय नमो ह्रीं वामदेवगुह्याय नमो हम सत्यजातमूर्तये नमो हृदयाय नमो ह्रीं शिरसे नमो हम शिखाय नमो ह्रीं कवचाय नमो हम नेत्रेभ्यो नमः ओम हस्त्राय नमः. ओम हम ईशानमूर्धाय नमो ह्रीं तत्पुरुषवक्त्राय नमो हम अघोरहृदयाय नमो ह्रीं वामदेवगुह्याय नमो हम सत्यजातमूर्तये नमो हृदयाय नमो ह्रीं शिरसे नमो हम शिखाय नमो ह्रीं कवचाय नमो हम नेत्रेभ्यो नमः ओम अस्त्राय नमः.
We'll now chant the Sankalpa mantra, the conscious resolution. Please clasp your right hand in your left hand and keep both your hands on your right thigh.
ममोपात्त समस्त दुरिदक्षयद्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम च शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते अद्य ब्रह्मणः द्वितीय परार्धे श्री श्वेतवराह कल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे नित्ययुगे प्रथमे पादे जम्बूद्वीपे भारतवर्षे भरतखण्डे मेरोः दक्षिणे पार्श्वे शकाब्दे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारिके प्रभवादीनां षष्ट्याः संवत्सराणां मध्ये शोभकृतनाम संवत्सरे दक्षिणायने लक्ष्मी वेंकटेश्वर ऋतौ
कनकमासे
शुक्लपक्षे
त्रयोदश्यां शुभदितो
सोमवासरयुक्तायां
पूर्वाषाढा नक्षत्र विष्कम्भयोग गरिजकर्ण
एवं गुणविशेषण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ
कार्ला टैबेट नाम याः सकुटुम्बस्य एवा एंडरसन नाम याः एमा एंडरसन नाम याः चरसा वोज्डा नाम याः मार्क वोज्डा नाम धेयस्य एला डोमले वस्का नामधेयस्य मार्सिन डोमलेस्का नामधेयस्य सुकुटुम्बस्य पिंगलू नाम याः जिनशन नाम याः जुनलू नामधेयस्य ज्याओरोंगमा नाम याः ज्याओह्यूली नाम याः सुकुटुम्बस्य लिंगलिन की नाम याः युए झांग नाम याः मिनझांग नाम याः पिंगलू नाम याः सुकुटुम्बस्य नित्यानंद गोत्रोद्भवायाः कृतिका नक्षत्रे वृषभराशो जातायाः मानित्या जालंधर स्थितानंदा नाम याः सकुटुम्बस्य मानित्या स्वाधिष्ठानंदा नाम याः सेलेस्ट डैनियल स्मिथ नाम याः टायरन लोरल डेलिसेल नामधेयस्य डेमियन एनरिके ग्रावियस नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य कौंशगोत्रोद्भवस्य अश्विनी नक्षत्रे मेषराशो जातस्य रामनाथ पाये नामधेयस्य रेखा पाये नाम याः सुकुटुम्बस्य
ख्यलाबसौड्नाम्याः सकुटुम्बस्य सकुटुम्बस्य च
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वराभिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुवन्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वती सन्न्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञानविश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविडवेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणासमधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयाण यमान छत्र चापर श्रीचिन्नगाहलादि समस्त बिरदावल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्ग वर्ष विश्रानजीमूत परमत कल्पकेसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपन शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार्ह ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवद्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्त्रे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्याद्यनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास गुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमद् जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थम गुरु कृपा कटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थम क्षेम स्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्यानाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थम धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थम समस्त मंगलावाप्त्यर्थम भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव अवतार भूत श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रत्यक्ष पाद पूजां करिष्ये।
Drop your akshita and flowers on your right hand side. Now wash your right hand with the powder from the Panchapatram. We'll now perform the Ganthanadam. Please take the bell in your hands and ring it loudly along with the mantra.
आगमार्थं तु देवानां गमनार्थं तु राक्षसां घण्टानादं करोम्यादौ देवताह्वानलाञ्छनं घण्टादेवताभ्यो नमः।
Which tablet is she?
ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षय द्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ हेक्टर चित्रा नक्षत्रे जातस्य हेक्टर मुरिलो नामधेयस्य स्वाति नक्षत्रे जातायाः तेरेसा मुरिलो नाम्याः सकुटुम्बस्य श्री नित्यभानहस्तानंदा नामधेयस्य मार्गरेट पुर्कीस नाम्याः जॉर्ज रॉजर पुर्कीस नामधेयस्य सारा लिंच पुर्कीस नाम्याः साइमन पुर्कीस नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य नाइचैंग ज़्याओ नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य ज़ेंगशुयन नाम्याः लियाओ वन यू नाम्याः लियाओ चेंगयू नामधेयस्य लियाओ होंग्रू नामधेयस्य लियाओ लैनलिंग नाम्याः ज़ेंगलिंगयू नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य लिंडा बर्ग नाम्याः एरिक बर्ग नामधेयस्य गोरान एक्लुंड नामधेयस्य इंजर एक्लुंड नाम्याः सकुटुम्बस्य वेलिधिन गोत्रोद्भवायाः किलिरु कुटुंब राव नामधेयस्य धनिष्ठा नक्षत्रे मकर राशौ जातस्य किलरु प्रणय नामधेयस्य अश्विनी नक्षत्रे मेषराशौ जातस्य परम गुरु चरित व्यान नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य उत्तराषाढ़ा नक्षत्रे मकर राशौ जातायाः सुजैन सोलेंडर नाम्याः जॉनथन सोरेल नामधेयस्य एलिसा सीमे नाम्याः सकुटुम्बस्य नित्यानंद गोत्रोद्भवायाः एलिना जेलेनिया नाम्याः एलिस सुंगुरो नामधेयस्य लेव जेलेनिन नामधेयस्य एडम जेलेनिन नामधेयस्य केली जेलेनिन नाम्याः लुडमिला अगीवा नाम्याः सकुटुम्बस्य सत्यकर्म गोत्रोद्भवस्य धनिष्ठा नक्षत्रे सिंहराशौ जातस्य श्रीनिवास कोंडा नामधेयस्य मृगशीर्षा नक्षत्रे वृषभराशौ जातायाः ज्योति कोंडा नाम्याः रेवती नक्षत्रे मीनराशौ जातस्य अक्षित कोंडा नामधेयस्य स्वाति नक्षत्रे तुलाराशौ जातस्य श्रीजन कोंडा नामधेयस्य चित्रा नक्षत्रे तुलाराशौ जातायाः विजयलक्ष्मी सिरिमल्ला नाम्याः लता सिरिमल्ला मार्कण्डेय गोत्रोद्भवस्य चित्रा नक्षत्रे तुलाराशौ जातायाः विजयलक्ष्मी सिरिमल्ला नाम्याः लता सिरिमल्ला नामधेयस्य उभ नक्षत्रे सिंहराशौ जातायाः सकुटुम्बस्य सकुटुम्बस्य च श्री मनसेप्सित सकल सकपीष्ट काम्यार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम ज्ञानवैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव अवतारभूत श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रत्यक्ष पाद पूजां करिष्ये. We'll now chant the Manasa Puja, the internal worship. Please take some flowers in your hands and hold your hands in the Kurma Mudra. Internally visualize every part of your being being shared with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Swamiji.
हृत्पद्ममासनं दद्यात् सहस्रारच्युतामृतैः पाद्यं चरणयोर्दद्यात् मनस्तु अर्घ्यं निवेदयेत् तेन अमृतेन आचमनीयं स्नानीयं तेन च स्मृतम् आकाशतत्त्वं वस्त्रं स्यात् गन्धः स्यात् गन्धतत्त्वकम् चित्तं प्रकल्पयेत् पुष्पं धूपं प्राणान् प्रकल्पयेत् तेजस्तत्त्वं च दीपार्थं नैवेद्यं स्यात् सुधाम्बुधिः अनाहतध्वनिर्घण्टा वायुतत्त्वं च चामरं सहस्रारं भवेत् छत्रं शब्दतत्त्वं च गीतकम् नृत्यमिन्द्रियकर्माणि चाञ्चल्यं मनसस्तथा सुमेखलां पद्ममालां पुष्पं नानाविधं तथा अमायाद्यैर्भावपुष्पैः अर्चयेद्भावगोचरम् अमायं मनहङ्कारम् अरागं ममदं तथा अमोहगं मदं पञ्च अद्वेषाक्षोभकौ तथा अमात्सर्यं मलोभं च दशपुष्पं विदुर्बुधाः अहिंसा परमं पुष्पं पुष्पमिन्द्रियनिग्रहः दया पुष्पं क्षमापुष्पं ज्ञानपुष्पं च पञ्चमम् इति पञ्चदशैर्भावपुष्पैः सम्पूजयेत् भगवन्तं श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवम्.
We'll now begin the Upachara Puja, the external worship. Please take the asanam, the akshata and the flowers in your hands and offer them at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
आसनम् ॐ सर्वभूतान्तरस्थाय सर्वभूतान्तरात्मने कल्पयामुपवेशार्थम् आसनं ते नमो नमः. ॐ ह्रीं इदं सुवर्णासनं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Swagatam, the offering of welcoming. Please take some flowers in your hands and offer them at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
स्वागतम् ॐ शान्तत्वात् सर्वकर्तृत्वात् भावोपरतिकारणात् शिव उक्तो महातन्त्र मन्त्रविद्भिः सदा शिवः तस्मै शिवाय गुरवे वीतरागकलाय वै अमेयत्वादनन्तोऽयम् अजत्वाच प्रकीर्तितः यस्य दर्शनमिच्छन्ति देवाः स्वाभीष्टसिद्धये तस्मै ते परमेशान स्वागतं स्वागतं प्रभो. अद्य मे सफलं जन्म जीवनं सफला क्रियाः स्वागतं यत्त्वया तन्मे तपसां फलमागतम्. ॐ ह्रीं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूप भगवन् श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं ते.
The next offering is Padyam, the offering of water for washing the feet. Now please take the Padyam water in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
पाद्यम् ॐ यद्भक्तिलेशसम्पर्कात् परमानन्दसम्प्लवः तस्मै ते परमेशान पाद्यं शुद्धाय कल्पये ॐ ह्रीं एतत्पाद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Arghya, the offering of the traditional bouquet. Please take the Arghya in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
अर्घ्यः ॐ दूर्वाक्षतसमायुक्तं बिल्वपत्रं तथा परं शोभनं शङ्खपात्रस्थं गृहाणार्घ्यं महेश्वर ॐ ह्रीं एषोऽर्घ्यः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय स्वाहा.
The next offering is Achamanam, the offering of water for washing the hands and the mouth. Please take the Achamanam water in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet. The end of the mantra.
आचमनीयम् ॐ मन्दाकिन्यास्तु यद्वारि सर्वपापहरं शुभं ग्रहाणाचमनीयं त्वं मया भक्त्या निवेदितम् ॐ ह्रीं इदम् आचमनीयोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय स्वधा.
The next offering is Madhubarka, the offering of the nectarine drink. Please take the cup of Madhubarka in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
मधुपर्कः ॐ सर्वकल्मषनाशाय परिपूर्णसुधात्मकम् मधुपर्कमिमं देव कल्पयामि प्रसीद मे ॐ ह्रीं एष मधुपर्कः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय स्वधा.
The next offering is Gandhatailam, the offering of the scented oil. Please take the Gandhatailam in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
गन्धतैलम् ॐ स्नेहं ग्रहाण स्नेहेन लोकानां हितकारक सर्वलोकेषु शुद्धस्त्वं ददामि स्नेहमुत्तमम् ॐ ह्रीं इदं गन्धतैलं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Snaniyam, the offering of the sacred bath. Please take the Snaniyam water in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra. Please ring the bell as you do so.
स्नानीयम् ॐ इदं सुशीतलं वारि स्वच्छं शुद्धं मनोहरं स्नानार्थं ते मया भक्त्या कल्पितं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ ह्रीं इदं स्नानीयोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Vastram, the offering of the clothes. Please take the Vastram in your hands and offer them at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra. Vastram
ॐ मायाचित्रपटाच्छन्न निजगुह्योरुतेजसे निरावरणविज्ञाय वासस्ते कल्पयाम्यहम् ॐ ह्रीं इदम् वस्त्रोत्तरीयं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Abharanam, the offering of jewelry. Now please take the Abharanam in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
आभरणम् ॐ स्वभावसुन्दराङ्गाय नानाशक्त्याश्रयायते सुवर्णं भूषणं तुभ्यं कल्पयामि प्रसीद मे. ॐ ह्रीं इदं सुवर्णाभरणं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Gandha, the offering of jewelry. Please take the offering of the sandalwood paste. Please take the sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra. Gandhaha
ॐ शरीरं ते न जानामि चेष्टां नैव च मया निवेदितान् गन्धान् प्रतिगृह्य विलिप्यताम्. ॐ ह्रीं एष गन्धः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Pushpam, the offering of the sacred flowers. Please take the flowers smeared with sandalwood paste in your hands and offer them at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
पुष्पम् ॐ तुरीयवनसम्पन्नं नानागुणमनोहरम् आनन्दसौरभं पुष्पं गृह्यतामिदमुत्तमम्. ॐ ह्रीं एतानि सचन्दनपुष्पाणि सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय भौषटे.
The next offering is Bilvapatram, the offering of the Bilva leaf. Please take a Bilva leaf smeared with sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
बिल्वपत्रम् ॐ अमृतोद्भवं श्रीवृक्षं शङ्करस्य सदा प्रियं बिल्वपत्रं प्रयच्छामि पवित्रं ते सुरेश्वर. ॐ ह्रीं एतानि सचन्दनबिल्वपत्राणि सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय भौषटे.
The next offering is Tulasi Patram, the offering of the Tulasi leaf. Please take the Tulasi leaf smeared with sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
तुलसी पत्रम् ॐ नमस्ते बहुरूपाय वरदमूर्तये परमात्मने स्वाहा. ॐ ह्रीं इदं सचन्दनतुलसी पत्रं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Dhupa, the offering of the lit incense. Please take the lit incense in your hands and slowly wave in a clockwise manner towards Swamiji, and please ring the bell as you do so.
धूपः ॐ वनस्पतिरसो दिव्यो गन्धाद्यः सुमनोहरः आग्रेय सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ ह्रीं एष धूपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Deepa, the offering of the lit lamp. Now please take the lit Deepam in your hands and slowly wave towards His Divine Holiness Swamiji along with the mantra. Please ring the bell as you do so.
दीपः ॐ स्वप्रकाशो महादीपः सर्वतस्तिमिरापहः सबाह्याभ्यन्तरज्योतिर्दीपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ ह्रीं एष दीपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Naivedyam, the offering of the food. Please take the udharini of water, hover it 3 times around the Naivedyam, and offer the water at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet, and please ring the bell as you do so.
नैवेद्यम् ॐ नैवेद्यं विविधं देवा शर्करादिविनिर्मितं मया निवेदितं भक्त्या ग्रहाण परमेश्वर ॐ ह्रीं इदं सोपकरणनैवेद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Paniyam, the offering of water for drinking. Please take the Paniyam water in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
नीयम् ॐ समस्तदेवदेवेश सर्वतृप्तिकरं परम् अखण्डानन्दसम्पूर्णं ग्रहाणजलमुत्तमम् ॐ ह्रीं इदं पानार्थोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Punarachamaniyam, the offering of water for washing the hands and the mouth. Please take the Punarachamaniyam water in your hands and offer it at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet along with the mantra.
Punarachamaniyam ॐ उच्छिष्टमप्यशुचिर्वा यस्य स्मरणमात्रतः शुद्धिमाप्नोति तस्मै ते पुनराचमनीयकम् ॐ ह्रीं इदं पुनराचमनीयोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय स्वाहा.
The next offering is Aratrigam, the offering of the Arati. Please take the lit Arati lamp in your hands and slowly wave towards His Divine Holiness Swamiji along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so.
Aratrigam ॐ ह्रीं एषा दीपमाला सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः. ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसंयसाहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे स्वमेकामाङ्गामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः. कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि. भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि. भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि.
आरात्रिकं
समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरण कमलेभ्यो नमः.
The next offering is Pushpanjali, the offering of the flowers. Please take the flowers in your hands and hold your hands in the Atmanjali Mudra. Offer the flowers at His Divine Holiness Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra.
पुष्पाञ्जलिः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरुः ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्. एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः. ॐ नित्यानन्दम्.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Guilt, depression, fear, and every major things, not only practically, esoterically. It is not even actually technique, because they are so esoteric, so deep. The whole course is designed just for the total transformation.
The higher dimensions, when they enter consciously into the lower dimensions, they manifest as powers. If the space dimension enters into time, time literally manifests everything space wants. How you have a nervous system which passes the thought currents inside you. Same way the cosmos has a nervous system which passes its decisions and thought currents, that is the space. Constantly be inspired by the space of the Paramashiva in your space. I'll give you all the 108 great gifts I brought from Kailasa. I'll give it as an experiential initiation to all of you.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even try to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailasa now.
Understand, program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramashiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramashivoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramashiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva in all of us. Understand your birth, your death, your rebirth. The time between the birth and death, time between death and rebirth are all part of same long life. There is no discontinuity in the whole life. Let this one truth sink in all of you to make you understand. Greed does not need to create desire in you. In the ocean, when the river enters, it doesn't create ripples. in the vast time available in front of you by this great truth. Even if the greed enters, it does not create the ripples of desire. Even if the fear enters, it does not create the ripples of anxiety.
If you ever get the opportunity to sign up for the Next Death Conscious process, please don't miss it. Being with Swamiji, being with the Avatar, we go through these processes, and so much of not just physical fears or the blockages that's in the body now, but so many of our fears that are there from this Janma and many different Janmas, so many of our fears of losing whatever attachment that we have is just simply completed with. Thank you so much for listening to my video. Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Kala Bhairava puts his footprint on all your brains. Let your biomemories be awakened to this great truth. Let this great truth be downloaded in all the brains, from this brain, all over the world. Namah Shivaya.
So many times you may have some desire, some guilt, some pain for which you are not able to find solution. And now the best chance or the best way to get the solution is from Master. Master is here. Don't miss the chance. We are going to work on each major layers. We are going to work on desire, guilt, depression, fear, and every major things, not only practically, esoterically. It is not even actually technique, because they are so esoteric, so deep. The whole course is designed just for the total transformation.
The higher dimensions, when they enter consciously into the lower dimensions, they manifest as powers. If the space dimension enters into time, time literally manifests everything space wants. How you have a nervous system which passes the thought currents inside you, same way the cosmos has a nervous system which passes its decisions and thought currents, that is the space. Constantly be inspired by the space of the Paramashiva in your space. I'll give you all the 108 great gifts I brought from Kailasa. I'll give it as an experiential initiation to all of you.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is third eye penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailasa now.
Understand, program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramashiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramashivoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramashiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva in all of us. Understand your birth, your death, your rebirth. The time between the birth and death, time between death and rebirth are all part of same long life. There is no discontinuity in the whole life. Let this one truth sink in all of you to make you understand. Greed does not need to create desire in you. In the ocean, when the river enters, it doesn't create ripples. In the vast time available in front of you, by this great truth, even if the greed enters, it does not create the ripples of desire. Even if the fear enters, it does not create the ripples of anxiety.
If you ever get the opportunity to sign up for the Next Death Conscious process, please don't miss it. Being with Swamiji, being with the Avatar, we go through these processes, and so much of not just physical fears or the blockages that's in the body now, but so many of our fears that are there from this Janma and many different Janmas. So many of our fears of losing whatever attachment that we have is just simply completed with. Thank you so much for listening to my video. Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Kala Bhairava puts his footprint on all your brains. Let your biomemories be awakened to this great truth. Let this great truth be downloaded in all the brains, from this brain, all over the world. Namah Shivaya.
So many times you may have some desire, some guilt, some pain for which you are not able to find solution. And now the best chance or the best way to get the solution is from Master. Master is here. Don't miss the chance. We are going to work on each major layers. We are going to work on desire, guilt, depression, fear, on every major things, not only practically, esoterically. It is not even actually technique, because they are so esoteric, so deep. The whole course is designed just for the total transformation.
The higher dimensions, when they enter consciously into the lower dimensions, they manifest as powers. If the space dimension enters into time, time literally manifests everything space wants. How you have a nervous system which passes the thought currents inside you, same way the cosmos has a nervous system which passes its decisions and thought currents, that is the space. Constantly be inspired by the space of the Paramashiva in your space. I'll give you all the 108 great gifts I brought from Kailasa. I give it as an experiential initiation to all of you.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have make sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailasa now.
Understand, program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramashivam. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramashivoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramashiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva in all of us. Understand your birth, your death, your rebirth, the time between the birth and death, time between death and rebirth are all part of same long life. There is no discontinuity in the whole life. Let this one truth sink in all of you to make you understand. Greed does not need to create desire in you. In the ocean, when the river enters, it doesn't create ripples. In the vast time available in front of you, by this great truth, even if the greed enters, it does not create the ripples of desire. Even if the fear enters, it does not create the ripples of anxiety.
If you ever get the opportunity to sign up for the Next Death Conscious process, please don't miss it. Being with Swamiji, being with the Avatar, we go through these processes, and so much of not just physical fears or the blockages that's in the body now, but so many of our fears that are there from this Janma and many different Janmas. So many of our fears of losing whatever attachment that we have is just simply completed with. Thank you so much for listening to my video. Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Kala Bhairava puts his footprint on all your brains. Let your biomemories be awakened to this great truth. Let this great truth be downloaded in all the brains, from this brain, all over the world. Namah Shivaya.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
ज्ञानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam. Welcome to Nithyananda TV, Nithyananda Rudra Show. I'm Srinitya Rajananda, and today we're going to be getting ready for a powerful darshan by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the bhava of Chandrasekara Murthy. Today we're going to let you know a little bit behind the story of how Paramashiva has the iconic crescent moon upon his head, and how that is such a beautiful symbol of Paramashiva. His name is also, so many names are there, just naming Paramashiva as the one who has the moon on his head, Soma or Chandrasekara or Shashanka. All these are names that are celebrating Paramashiva as the one who has the upon his forehead, the moon. So the story of how he kept his own devotee, Chandra or the moon, was his very own devotee, and how he rescued his devotee from troubles and literally wore his devotee upon his head. That is the place where Chandra resides, and whenever we see the moon, we can also treasure and see that it comes from being upon Paramashiva's head. So let us take a look at a short video where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism tells us the very story of the Chandrasekara Murthy. In fact, even the name sometimes of Paramashiva, he even takes on the name of his devotee, and he is known also as Soma. So we will now see a short clip where the story of Chandrasekara is told by Swamiji himself.
नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today Mahadeva is gracing us in the form of Chandrasekara. The Leela of protecting moon. Once Prajapati Daksha, whose 27 daughters are married to moon, Chandra, the Prajapati Daksha got angry because Chandra was more attracted towards Rohini, and Daksha cursed Chandra, his own son-in-law, that you let you lose all the glory and the luminance of 16 parts. So when Chandra started losing all the parts and dying, he ran to Mahadeva and took refuge under Mahadeva, asking for protection.
Mahadeva put the moon on his head. The moment Mahadeva put the moon on his head, the moon's curse disappeared. The curse cannot come to moon anymore. And thus he protected Chandra and protected the world because see, the medicinal quality in the herb is because of the Chandra's light, moon's light in the night. And the herb survives by the sunlight, but it acquires the healing properties by the moonlight. When the moonlight was not there, all the herbs have started losing its healing qualities. So by saving Chandra, Mahadeva became not only Chandrasekara, Vaidyanatha also. So today Mahadeva is gracing us as a protector of the moon by wearing the moon on his crown. You can see the moon on his crown. Close up, moon on his crown. Yes. You can see the moon on his crown. So today Mahadeva is gracing all of us as a Chandrasekara. But Mahadeva's duplicates forgot to wear the moon. So as per the tradition, it's a tradition in Madurai, because Mahadeva came in the human body and did all these leelas, one child from the Butler family, the Madurai Butler family, that child will be decorated during each leela. There are some leelas which are little complicated, so even the Butler himself will be decorated as Mahadeva and they will enact the whole leela. So as per the tradition, we also follow that one Krama Brahmachari or Brahmacharini wear the dress of Mahadeva and Devi and represent them and enact. Beautiful. Only from the last Inner Awakening program I started this aspect of having every day Mahadeva in one Leela Alankara. See, he has performed 64 Leelas as per Thiruvilayadar Puranam and around 170 Leelas as per Shiva Puranam. So, every day if we decorate him in one Leela Alankar, even then almost for full year we have a way to decorate him. Last Inner Awakening I started because I wanted all these to be remembered. All these temples, the deities, all these to be protected, preserved, promoted. Any civilization will be alive only through three major pillars. One, lifestyle knowledge. Second, art and festivals. Third, language. So by the satsangs, I am keeping the lifestyle knowledge of the Vedic tradition alive. But I am not doing anything for these temples and sacred arts, festivals. That is why I decided we will have every day one festival, remembering one Leela of Mahadeva, one Shiva Leela. So that the whole science will be kept alive. These festivals will be kept alive. This temple lifestyle, temple tradition will be kept alive. And all the arts and culture related to temple will be kept alive. When you see this deity, you take it for granted. We will show you. We make everything inside our campus. We will show you. Then you will understand how much it takes to make one jewelry, one deity, one piece of jewelry this deity is wearing. So much has to be kept alive to keep these festivities and festivals, and I wanted to keep all these alive. That's the reason last Inner Awakening we started this tradition of Mahadeva will grace. Whenever there is a program, Mahadeva will grace with one Leela Alankara, and I am also working to keep this language alive by creating a Sanskrit university. So that the Vedic mantras, everything is kept alive, the tradition is kept alive, the knowledge is kept alive. All right. Today's Nitya Satsang, I'll expand on the root patterns, root of the root patterns. And how to come out of the root patterns. Please listen. Please come to the space of listening. First step you need to do to find the root of your root pattern. You have to find conflicting patterns. That is what we are going to do today in the Inner Awakening program. Please understand, all your problems from the external world, how much ever serious it may be, how much ever complicated it may be, I am not disrespecting you when I am making this statement. Please listen. How much ever complicated it may be, how much ever difficult it may look, we are the source of the problem. If we complete the conflict and contradiction we carry inside, the problem appears outside, will just melt down and disappear. Please understand, I am not at all disrespecting, underestimating the suffering each one of you go through in the life. I am not insensitive to your sufferings in the life. I tell you, the amount of suffering I go through, the amount of abusal, harassment, persecution I am going through, How many false cases I faced? In the midst of all this harassment, I am telling you from the experience, keeping Mahakala as the witness, Mahadeva as the witness, with integrity and authenticity, responsibility and enriching, I am telling you, once we solve the inner conflicting, contradicting patterns, immediately the problem which appears outside, which you think unsolvable, sometimes you think my husband cannot be changed, my legal problem cannot be solved, my financial problem cannot be solved, which you believe so strongly, that which can't be solved, which you think just melts down, melts away. I tell you, I have faced worst demons. If I am the incarnation of Mahadeva, I have seen the incarnations of the worst demons. I tell you, if you think I am incarnation of divine, I have seen incarnations of demons. But I tell you, even the problems created by those big demons melts away when you do something internally. I tell you, I strongly feel all these problems itself happened in my life for me to prove to the world experientially, once you work inside you, the outside of you simply changes. Otherwise, I tell you, no one imagined I'll stand back, I'll raise back, I will have a comeback for the amount of abusal and harassment and socially, morally, through media, through legal and through economically, stopping us in all possible ways. The amount of harassment and abusal and persecution dumped on my head, nobody, even close devotees, did not think I'll stand back. I tell you, I stood back just because of only one thing. I was very clear and complete within me. The power of completion within me. Please listen, the power of completion within me beyond my self-doubts. You also complete many times, but you allow the self-doubt to take over. So complete with the self-doubt also. The power of completion beyond self-doubts is responsible for me standing up beyond all these harassments. Now even the people who harassed me are tired. Say, leave it, what to do, nothing can be done. I tell you, whatever you may think is your problem, it is social, political, moral, economical, legal. Please understand, I am talking
cosmic law which has power over all country laws. Understand? Still, cosmic constitution and the cosmic law is the most powerful force and energy and power working on the planet Earth. I am telling you, from cosmic law, from the experience of experiencing cosmic law, I very strongly feel all these problems happened in my life just for the world to have a living proof, evidence of the power of Dhamma, the power of spiritual principles. When you stand on the spiritual solution, it just melts away, destroys all the possible problems which came, coming, or yet to come. Which came, coming, or yet to come. Please understand. Understand. When you understand your conflicting patterns, when you complete with your conflicting patterns, many of the problems which attracts your attention in your life, the source of the problems melts away. The source melts away. Please listen. The pattern of getting agitated does not let you believe in any solution. Listen. Listen. How many of you cognize many times just because of the agitation, unable to tolerate the agitation, you make the decision knowing it is not a solution for the problem? Raise your hand. I tell you, that is the biggest problem. I have a story. A businessman makes a call to his home. Servant picked up the phone. Businessman says, "Give the phone to my wife." Servant says, "She is sleeping with her husband." Businessman says, "Hey, but I am her husband." Servant says, "Now what to do?" Businessman says, "Kill both of them." After killing, the servant comes back and asks, "What to do with the dead bodies?" Businessman says, "Put them in our swimming pool." Servant says, "But there is no swimming pool in our house." Wrong number. Understand? Many times, while in agitation, just because we are not able to tolerate the agitation inside, we make the decision knowing the decision is not going to be the solution. Just because you have to do something to convince yourself that you are responding to the agitation which is inside.
Please understand, how many of you cognize you do something without knowing whether this action is going to solve the problem or bring even closer to the solution, without knowing, just to escape from the agitation, doing something? How many of you do this kind of action? I tell you, that is what lands us always in more trouble and never lets us find the solution. So whenever there is a problem, the first enemy to be attacked is not the external cause of the problem, but the internal cognition of the problem. Then immediately we ask a question, what? Internally, if you change the cognition, the external legal summon, or the court arrest warrant, or the police arrest warrant, or my divorce, or my husband abusing me, wife abusing me, my bankruptcy, my company which is getting bankrupt, will all these problems be solved? Will my bills be paid? This is the biggest question we have. I tell you, I am not talking because in fluke, some like a miracle or accident, some one or two things happened in my life. I am not talking out of that courage or anything. I am telling you, you can never imagine more number of miracles in anybody's life than in my life. If I am sitting here, it is the totality of some 2000 miracles. Not one miracle or two miracles. It is like in 2000 spots I escaped. In 2000 spot you cannot escape just by accident or miracle. It's a science. Understand? In two places if you escape, you can call that as some miracle happened in your life, some accident happened in your life. Why are you making that as a philosophy? If it happens once or twice, I can say, oh, I went to banyan tree and banyan tree blessed. No, I am not saying banyan tree doesn't bless. It blessed. If it happens once or twice, you can brush it aside saying it's a miracle or accident. He escaped. He missed. You can say. But escaping 2000 times, I am telling 2000 is very small number. Melting down the problem which created outside thousands and thousands of times is not a miracle or accident. It is a science. I am telling you, whenever external problem or a big powerlessness is faced by you, a conflict or a contradiction is faced by you, please understand, the first thing you need to attend is your cognition process. And I also tell you one more thing. Many of you listen to what I say very seriously, and based on this you make the strategy for your life. You do strategy planning for the majority of your decisions. You make major decisions listening to my words. Please understand, I am talking to you with that responsibility. I am not talking irresponsibly. Let me tell what I want. What is there for me? No. People handled me irresponsibly, but I can't afford to handle you all irresponsibly. I am handling each one of you with a deep responsibility. Please understand. Every time when you face a problem, you face a conflict or a contradiction, powerlessness externally, please understand. First thing you need to attend is not what you perceive as external cognition, the internal reason for your cognition. Attend that first. And when you attend the internal reason for your cognition, you will have enough space to attend to the external reason. I am not saying don't attend to the external reason, but I tell you, with a settled internal cognition, you will attend exactly to the external reason. You will know exactly what is the reason. You will not be throwing stones towards the Mars to hit at the moon. You will not attack the sun to be free from the Saturn. In agitation, with agitation, your cognition is so completely terrorized, confused, shaken. You completely see things which the way you should not see it. You perceive it the way it should not be perceived. You attend to it the way it should not be attended. You trust people who should not be trusted. You suspect people who should not be suspected. You doubt people who should not be doubted. Please understand, the biggest asset a man can acquire is the space of completion. I am so happy I am getting that wealth for my Gurukul kids.
Yes, beautifully the story of Chandrasekara was shared by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in this very clip, along with a sharing about the truths of living conflict free and having completion as a core and center of our lives. How, without thinking, we make some decisions in our life that we know
will cause actually a problem, but the inner agitation that we have inside of us is such that we just make a decision recklessly without having any real understanding about why we are doing what we are doing. And in this way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares about how that does so much of damage and disrupts us very much in our lives. In the Paramashivoham program, you can see that the sessions that are personally designed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are absolutely foolproof, means it is time tested over and over again, first by himself and then on groups and groups of people, and then the solutions are brought out to the world as techniques to come over all of the problems that you have. When it comes to this completion process and the samskara dahana kriya, these are true parts of the Paramashivoham program, and as a practice, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always shares that we must do the completion every night. As a part of this beautiful Chaturmasya time, that is the time between the Guru Purnima and the Vijayadashmi, 4 months, 4 full moons happen. And in these 4 months, Hindus do a special introspection or a study of the Hindu scriptures and literally do the study of the Prasthanatraya, which is the Brahma Sutras, Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita. The choicest and the best truths among all the beautiful techniques inside these scriptures are also there as a part of the Paramashivoham program. Not only do we learn about them, but we also take the time to implement them into our life, into intra-analyzation sessions where you can sit with yourself and do the manana on how exactly we can radiate the very teachings and the truths and the powerful cognitions from the traditions, from the Upanishads and all of the Hindu scriptures. Today we are going to get ready to see the darshan of Chandrasekara, the Paramashiva, who wears his own devotee, the crescent moon, on his head, and in this way we get to also experience various powerful dimensions, tattvas and principles of the cosmos, including Ishvara Tattva, Vidya Tattva, Sattva Tattva, and all of the powerful cognitions that you can manifest in these dimensions. Today, the Paramashivoham program is also going on right now. You can take this moment to register yourself, because it is in this program that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving for free. This is originally a $21,000 program, but now the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is offering it absolutely free for anybody who wants to join. And you can join at any time also. The season that is currently going on of Paramashivam is going to end in a few more days, yet you have the opportunity to join for the next season, and it's something you don't want to miss. It's something you really want to take the time for, keep the time off, and spend the time with the sessions and rejuvenate your life with the truths of Paramashivoham, oneness with Paramashiva. So as we get ready for the darshan, let us take a short break and we'll be right back with you.
Biggest asset for any man, best thing a human being can have in his life is completion, the space of completion. I can go out, beg from door to door, touching people's feet, requesting them to acquire the space of completion inside them. I can do anything if somebody can be inspired to acquire the space of completion inside. Because when the conflicting patterns were healed inside you, when the confusing patterns were healed inside you, suddenly you will see the heaviness of the problem externally melts down. It is not miracle I am talking, it is a simple science I am talking. I tell you, many times my Gurukul kids give me the confidence on this Dhamma. When I see my Gurukul kids playing with the nature, bringing rain or stopping rain, without failing even once. Please understand, it is not that they can play with rain only in the rainy season. And even while they practicing completion process, actually they every day sit and practice one unique process of completion, healing themselves and healing others. Each child has his own rose plant. The child talks to that plant and gives security to that rose plant, and automatically rose plant drops all the thorns. Please listen. One day I went to see the process they do with the rose plant. Each child has a rose plant and they sit and talk to that rose plant and do the completion process. It is actually done by Paramahansa. Paramahansa Yogananda used to have a rose pots next to his bed near the window. Every morning he will just look at them and with a deep love give them his blessings and support or care. In 1 month, all the rose plants have dropped their thorns. They felt so secured, they felt they don't need thorn to protect themselves. They dropped it. If you read Paramahansa Yogananda's memoirs, you will get this with evidence. When I started teaching this to our devotees and kids, I have seen many of our devotees are also able to do this. So, one day I went where our kids, all the Gurukul kids sit, each one of them with their plant. And from the distance, I stood and saw exactly what is happening. Please understand, if 100 priests, Pandits, Shivacharyas, if they sit and do Adhirudra Yajna with integrity, what amount of positive energy will be released? I saw so much of energy being released just by these few kids. Please understand. Of course, nowadays you don't need to believe all these ideas of energy and all. Unique photography methods have come. Kirlian photography. Unique photography methods have come where you can just photograph the whole energy release or the energy expansion and all that. I'm already planning. Soon you will see I'll release the Kirlian photographies, or the unique photographies which capture the energy release when they sit and do the completion with the plants. But all I am trying to tell you is, when you acquire the space of completion in you, so much unimaginable, auspicious, good things happens in your system which are incomprehensible. Please listen. If I say, see, I am making a statement. If you acquire the space of completion in you, all your problems externally and internally melts away. All the moments of powerlessness disappears externally, internally from your life. You may think it is too big a promise, too good to be true. I tell you, it is too small promise. Because when you create the space of completion, whatever I promise, like your external, internal problems will melt away, will be only a one small benefit you will be having. That is the problem. When the Dhamma is there in front of you, one group always feels it is too big promise. So it is difficult. It is not for immediate. All right, it may be if I practice for 12 years, I will come out of headache. No, I am not talking like Alzheimer's researchers. Do you know these Alzheimer's researchers, their motto is, make sure, find some medicine or method or way that you push at least 5 years. 5 years people should not die due to Alzheimer's, because by the time they will die by some other disease, it is not their problem. So the Alzheimer's Researchers Association, their only aim is delay the death just by 5 years so that the record does not show the person is dead by Alzheimer's. You understand? They don't bother about how you die. You can die with other diseases. That is not their problem. And they say usually some other diseases will come and they will die out of that disease. So now it is that disease researcher's problem. People who try to find cure for Alzheimer's, their problem is somehow delay it. I am not talking from that kind of a cognition. Please understand. I am not talking from that kind of a cognition or space where I am trying to delay one thing, or it's like if you practice 12 years this Dhamma, your headache will disappear, because by the time you will have stomach pain, in that stomach pain headache will disappear. No, I am not talking in those kind of impractical words. I am not planning any fine print words when I publish this solution. The fine print, if you don't do this, or if you do this, only then this will work, which is almost like a disclaimer. When I tell my story, I cannot have disclaimer. If I have a disclaimer, then my story is not worthy of listening. Forget about it. I tell you, the strength of my story is, without disclaimer, I tell you, just exactly as Krishna said in his Gita, in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says beautifully, understand my inner space, you will also experience my inner space. I tell you, understand exactly my inner space, and these satsangs are nothing but I am opening the door for you all to look into my inner space. Understand? I tell you, whatever you think you have in your life as a powerlessness, as a conflict, as a contradiction. Sometimes people ask me, Swamiji, I know if I practice all these truths, in future I will not have a problem, but what about the mess I already created? I tell you, always you get the knowledge only after you created the mess. Always you search for the medicine only after you got the disease. Do you go around and search the medicine for all the diseases? No. Only after you get the disease, you search for the medicine. Only after you get into the mess, you search for the solution. So if the solution I am giving you is not going to work for the problem which you already created, then what is the use of the solution? I tell you, if you start creating the space of completion now, even the mess you created in the past will simply melt down. It melts down. I am telling you, from my experience, first thing you need to do in your life is finding the conflicting patterns, the patterns which keeps you in constant powerlessness in your cognition every time. The ideas which you strongly carry about you, about others, about life, the strong perceptions you have about the world, life out there. Understand, first step we need to diagnose, find the conflicting patterns.
Yes, what a beautiful session we've had, just listening to Swamiji talk about the completion, especially when it comes to being able to see it as a power manifestation in your life. The beautiful example that he gave of the balasan sitting with the rose plants and requesting and asking the rose plants to drop their thorns. And the same way in our inner space, when we drop the thorns, when we drop the conflicting patterns that exist inside of us
that are like thorns inside our very inner space that prick at us and cause us agitation and pain. When we drop those thorns, the same will reflect in the rose plants that we grow. So, manifestation in itself, and something that many devotees have tried, many disciples have tried and found that really when they drop the conflicting patterns inside them, outside, the rose plant and the life itself responds. Nothing ever pricks at you again. You're simply living in such a peace and completion space. So with this beautiful understanding and powerful cognition, let us get ready to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is going to beautifully grace in the manifestation of Paramashiva as Chandrasekara, a beautiful manifestation where Paramashiva himself wore his devotee to save his devotee who was suffering and kept the moon on his head. Chandra is a devotee of the Paramashiva, and even not just gave him this place on his forehead, but also took on his name. We always address Paramashiva also as Chandrasekara, Somasekara, or Soma also. Soma meaning moon. So with this beautiful context, let us get ready and prepare ourselves to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please be seated with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Sit as Paramashiva. Inhale and exhale deeply with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. Visualize, meditate, connect with him. He is a living, alive being. Drop your form into his form and dissolve. Remember, you are a Sarupya Mukta, means your form is dissolved into his form. All my disciples, now I am initiating Salokya Mukti, Samipya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, Sayujya Mukti. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om
is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
Chandrasekara Murthy, the Paramashiva manifested to save moon, Chandra.
Once Prajapati Daksha, whose 27 daughters are married to moon, Chandra, the Prajapati Daksha got angry because Chandra was more attracted towards Rohini, and Daksha cursed Chandra, his own son-in-law, that you let you lose all the glory and the luminance of 16 parts. So when Chandra started losing all the parts and dying, he ran to Mahadeva and took refuge under Mahadeva, asking for protection. Mahadeva put the moon on his head. The moment Mahadeva put the moon on his head, the moon's curse disappeared. The curse cannot come to moon anymore. And thus he protected Chandra and protected the world.
ஆக்கிடும் தன்மை மறந்தேனோ என ஆண்மையின் மீது சந்தேகம் கொண்டா சந்தேகம் தீர்த்து அப்பன் நீயே என்று
தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் நெறியில்லா வாழ்வுதனில் புரளும் இம்மக்களுக்கு நெறியில்லா வாழ்வுதனில் புரளும் இம்மக்களுக்கு நெறியுடைய வேதத்தின் பொருளை அறிவித்து நெறியுடைய வேதத்தின் பொருளை அறிவித்து வீடு வேறு நாங்கள் அடைய விந்தைகள் செய்த கைலாயம் தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே கைலாயம் தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் ஓம் நித்யானந்த பரமசிவோகம் அத்தனே முத்தித்தனாய் பாடினேன் இப்பதிகம் உன்னையே நினைத்து இப்பதிகம் பாடிட வேண்டும் வரம் தந்தருள வேண்டும் என் நாயகனே கைலாயம் தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே கைலாயம் தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே கைலாயம் தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே கைலாயம் தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே கைலாயம் தனிலுறையும் நித்யானந்த பரம்பொருளே
भगवते रुद्राय ईशानतत्पुरुषाय अघोराय वामदेवाय सत्यजाताय नमः भगवते रुद्राय ईशानतत्पुरुषाय अघोराय वामदेवाय सत्यजाताय नमः ओम नमो नमो नमः शिवाय 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 यागिनाय यागिनाय केविकान पगलवागिनी
Om, 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 Om. As the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva's Chandrasekara Murthy, Garudanthika Murthy, Apatuttarana Murthy, Gajantika Murthy. I bless you all with ultimate Paramashivatva and I'll shower you all with all the auspiciousness. And today, the powerful process of Rasa Siddham. Take that mat in your hand. First visualize the wooden piece, the mat spindle in your hand is your Merudanda, means your spine. And visualize you are inhaling and exhaling. That prana movements is only churning it. Listen. Through your prana movement, you are churning. Actually, keeping a wooden spindle in your hand and churning will help your visualization deep and you to experience the cosmic kundalini in your spine. So take it. Take the spindle, mattu, in your hand. Keep in your hand. Visualize this Merudanda, this spindle is your spine, and churn it. Churn it intensely. Visualizing your spine getting churned. I'll churn the cosmic kundalini in you. I'll awaken the powers of Aushadha Darshana in you. Aushadha Darshana means you will be able to identify any medicine for any disease and make anything into medicine. Take the spindle and start the churning. Om, Om, Om.
Shiva 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 name. ஒரு பார்வையில் என் முக்கண் திறந்தாய், பரமசிவனாய் வாழ்ந்திட வைத்தாய். நானும் போற்றும் கடவுளே, இந்த கலியுகத்தில் என்னை காத்திடுவாய். பார்க்கடல் கடந்திட வந்த நஞ்சை தானே உண்ட நீலகண்டன் இவன் ஆடும் பிரளயத்தை அடக்கியாண்டிட ஆதிசக்தியின் வடிவு கொண்டான். ஆதி சைவத்தை காத்திட வேண்டும், விஸ்வரூபம் எடுத்து நிவா. கோடி அடிகளை தாங்கிய பரம்பரை எழுதில் நாங்கள் வீழ்வோமா? மதுரையை ஆளும் அரசனாய் வந்த சொக்கனாய், ஆதி கைலையை அமைத்த நித்யனாய், சென்று கைலையை செய்த செங்கோல் தாங்கிய சங்கரா. நெஞ்சிலே உனன் குருவையும் உயிர் பக்தியும் கொண்ட தேவனே இங்கு ஐம்பது யுகம். பக்தனின் கூரை போக்க எடுத்து வாராம் விஸ்வரூபம். கருணையே குருவாய் வந்த நித்யானந்த பரமசிவமே. இடிக்குது கேளுடா, சிவ எழுந்து வாராம் பாருடா. தக தக நீ பிடிக்குதா, கொடி கோட்டா தாண்டி பறக்குதா. சிவரூபம் தரித்து வந்து முக்காலம் கடந்து சென்று முடிவில்லா வாழ்க்கை தந்து குலங்காக்கும் சாதா சிவன். சொன்னிய பொய்கள் பல நூறு சொன்னாலும் இவன் புகழ் மாறாது. தகதிமி தகதிமி தாளம் இது, அதை அடக்கி ஆட இனி முடியாது. ஆதி ஜோதி அவதாரன் எடுத்து வந்தவன், சாவ கண்டு பயமும் இல்ல ஆள பிறந்தவன். அழியாத தெய்வ பூமி காக்க வளர்ந்தவன், கொள்கைக்காக எதையும் மறக்க துறக்க துணிஞ்சவன்.
கைவினமே பெற்ற புல்ல செந்தமிழும் நாவில் துல்ல பாதையில தடைகள் பால தகர்ந்து உலகை வெல்ல வைகையே வறண்ட போதும் வாழ்வினமே வீழ்ந்த போதும் வரலாறே மறைந்த போதும் வணங்காத சொக்கநாத நித்திய துணையும் இருக்க தோல்வியே இல்லை அவன் பாசத்துக்கு ஈடு இணை எதுவுமே இல்லை என் அப்பனே நீ வந்துட்ட என் துக்கத்தை எல்லாம் போக்கிட்ட என் சிவனே நீ வந்துட்ட வெண்டு வரமெல்லாம் தந்துட்ட நீ கடந்து சென்ற பாதையில் தங்க கோவில் கட்டி ஆளுற ஒரு வரமும் நீ தரணும் உன் மூச்சு காற்றுல வாழணும் வாழ்வின் கீதம் அது நித்யானந்தமே உலகெங்கும் ஒலிக்கும் ஓசை நித்யானந்தமே என்றும் மாறாத சக்தி ஒன்று நித்யானந்தமே கைலையை அமைத்து ஆளும் நித்யானந்தனே பறகொண்டு திரும்ப வாரான் கலியுக அவதாரம் சிவனோட சக்தி சேர்ந்து ஆள போகும் பொது யுகம் பக்தனின் கூரை போக்க எடுத்து வாரான் விஸ்வரூபம் கருணையே குருவாய் வந்த நித்யானந்த பரமசிவம் படைகொண்டு திரும்ப வாரான் கலியுக அவதாரம் சிவனோட சக்தி சேர்ந்து ஆள போகும் பொது யுகம் பக்தனின் கூரை போக்க எடுத்து வாரான் விஸ்வரூபம் கருணையே குருவாய் வந்த நித்யானந்த பரமசிவமே
ஈசனே சுடலை பொடி பூசி புடுக்கை தனை ஏந்தும் காலனே புலிதோலனே மீண்டும் விழியால் உள்ள முறைகின்ற மதுரை மாநகரின் ராசனே இன்னல்களை கலைந்து இன்பங்களை அளிக்கும் சுந்தர வடமணி நேசனே ஞாயிறு திங்கள் நித்த முறைகின்ற செவ்விழி கொண்ட செல்வனே சொக்கனே எந்த சோமனே ஐயா சோதி வடிவான ரூபனே அடிமுடி காணா அண்ணாமலையே அகிலமும் போற்றிடும் ஐயனே ஆவரணனை நால்வர் போற்றிட நயமுடனாடிடும் நாதனே ஆழ காலம் உண்டு ஆழம் காடுதனில் ஆனந்த நடமிடும் ஆதி செய்வனே மங்கையிடம் கொண்டு கங்கை முடி கொண்டு நர்த்தனம் புரியும் ஈசனே சுடலை முடி பூசி உடுகை அணையேந்தும் காலனே புலிதோலனே மீனின் விழிகால் உள்ள முறைகின்ற மதுரை மாநகரின் ராசனே இன்னல் தலை கலைந்து இன்பங்களை அளிக்கும் சுந்தர வடமணி நேசனே
तन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवो भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्याक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीनित्यानन्दाय नम इदम्.
Connecting with the divine.
Sit as Paramashiva. Inhale and exhale deeply with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. Visualize, meditate, connect with him. He is a living, alive being. Drop your form into his form and dissolve. Remember, you are a Sarupya Mukta, means your form is dissolved into his form. All my disciples, now I am initiating Salokya Mukti, Samipya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, Sayujya Mukti. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.